which I was thinking about when the film was on, which I watched again this evening. She says, we die. That may be the meaning of life, but we do have language. That may be the measure of life. So that's what it made me think of. So thank you very much. And of course, as we said, that's what we are here for. I'm just going to read two poems, I think, from my collection in progress. It's the forthcoming collection of jazz and blues poems. It's really Mornings and Midnights, which is the collection, is really a love song to jazz and blues singers of the 40s, 50s, early 60s. I decided very early on that I didn't want to write a biographical collection based on the story of, say, Billie Holiday or Josephine Baker. That had been done before very eloquently by Jeremy Reed in a collection called Saint Billy, which is a beautiful sequence. But I wanted to take elements of my life, divas that I admire, the women that I love, and to mesh them together. And so I decided to create a mythical singer who would have rubbed shoulders on the touring circuit with people like Billie Holiday, Josephine Baker, and others. Her name's Gloria Silver, and she was what we would probably call a B-side diva, although she'd probably not like to think of herself as a B-side diva. The book opens with a mirroring of a true story. When I was poet in residence for BBC Music Live, I was told by the researchers that Peggy Lee had apparently woken up one morning to read the newspapers, and she was mentioned posthumously. And I thought that this would be an incredible opening for a book. You imagine that somebody picks up the newspapers and they realise that as far according to the world they're dead. How do you resurrect yourself? How do you remind the world that you're alive? And that's exactly what Gloria has to do. I also discovered a second thing in the writing of them, that Gloria could not speak in my clipped English tones. She has another voice, another accent, so she's kind of an alter ego. So she speaks in this voice. This is a poem called Any Old Death Will Do, and it's her response to being and discovering that the newspapers think of her as dead. And there it is, my shroud in black and white. I'm 6 feet under early, good feed for the worms. More than gone to seed, I am the earth, and maggots are the jewels against my skin. Yeah, I had cramp while reflecting in the bath, then stubbed my small toe running for the foam, then later laughed so hard at my talk show trash companion till my breath was a barbed head line caught in the dark of my throat. But Dad? Yeah, I'd stopped for death before, but had it stopped for me? Hell no! It turned right around and ran. Dropped the little red flag in its honest little hands. Mon petit chéri que. Though I'd given it offerings of barbiturates and liquor, maybe once, or twice, or even thrice before. Night feeds on day, then sheds its skin. The witness of this interchange is proof that we exist. Pages of the day to find some shit-brained hack got there before God did. Though there are things you can do with being dead. You can fake sightings of yourself for bereft fans, run large checks at exclusive eateries, then hold up your rotten hands from beneath your designer sleeves and say, honey, I'm dead. And heaven deals in death, not dollars. Posthumously, autograph a napkin as you leave. You can light up in a non-smoking building. Ignore the fine. Ring radio stations to request your songs. Run red lights. Tell cops who start to read your rights, I'm not really here. Use court summons as tinder for the fire. But seriously, whose death have they given me? And where do they think she is? And wouldn't she be upset that I'm not her? Damn, I'm pissed that she's too cold to care, too bone by now to raise a well-plucked brow. Who'll get my welfare if they think I'm dead? Who'll stop the rent man taking back my home? Who'll make them see that I'm still flesh and breath? No cloud-bound tourist with a transparent soul. My first lines to the world outside. Dear sirs, correct your facts. Send in your